Good evening, and from our studios in Pipeline, welcome to Paradise TV News. I am Andy Kema. First, a look at the headlines. Completion of Manjai Bridge delays further. Gambian economy picking. Power of Freedom enjoy iftar with patients at Serekunda Hospital. In sports, Queen Scorpion lose to Super Falcons in qualifier, and on the international front, women dominate new Spanish cabinet. Completion of Manjai Bridge delays further. Gambian economy picking. Power of Freedom enjoy iftar with patients at Serekunda Hospital. In sports, Queen Scorpion lose to Super Falcons in qualifier, and on the international front, women dominate new Spanish cabinet. Completion of Those were the headlines. Now let's settle for the detail. The promise by the contractor working on the Manjai Bridge to complete the project on schedule will not be realized due to the unavailability of stones. According to the contractor, the stones, which are often bought from Senegal, have been delayed the project. He, however, says the stones are now in and that the project will be completed in 2 weeks. Faith Eme has the rest of the stories.
Following up on our story on the construction of the Manjai Bridge, Bai Mansa Jao, who is the contractor, told Paradise TV News that the construction will be completed within 6 weeks. Paradise TV News is here again to find out if the construction has been completed or not, as the 6 week has elapsed.
Apparently, nothing went wrong because we've expected to complete the bridge within 8 weeks, but we're beyond by 2 weeks additional because of lack of basalt in the Gambia. We have to struggle to get the basalt, but apparently we've done basically about 90% of the work. No. It's in construction you have to expect. Time, especially you have to expect this kinds of scenario because we are not the basalt is not in the Gambia. We have to go and acquire it in Senegal, and to be frank, there is a shortage of basalt in Senegal, so that's not our this thing. We cannot. We have no power on that.
Well, it has affected us.
An official at the International Monetary says the economy of the Gambia is gradually picking up, will continue if the right measures are continuously put in place to shape it. Resident representative of the IMF in the Gambia, Dr. Ruby E.M. Randall, who was speaking at the launch of the Regional Economic Outlook for Sub-Saharan Africa, said the growth is modest, debt vulnerabilities are rising, hence the need for concrete measures to check rising debts in the country. Lamin Jai reports.
The Gambian economy has been thrust to the very fore once more. Today, stakeholders gathered in Banjul to launch a report that says the country's economy is being pulled from the woods. The May 2018 Regional Economic Outlook Report is a publication prepared by the International Monetary Fund for Sub-Saharan African countries and provides statistical analysis regarding these countries' economies.
Basically, what we did today was hold our in-country launching of the Sub-Saharan African Regional Economic Outlook for May 2018. And this is a publication that we put out twice a year, we being the International Monetary Fund and the African Department of the IMF, where we look at cross-country developments, so regional developments as a whole. So today we gave a synopsis of the document and also tried to show how the Gambia compares with some of its regional peers.
The report says even as these countries have seen some growth, debt vulnerabilities and other challenges remain.
The debt issue now is most talk of the country, but if you look at it, it is a legacy problem that this current government inherited from the previous government.
The Gambia is battling a very large debt, which has now exceeded $47 billion. This translates to every Gambian owing over $26,000.
When this current government was coming into power, the public debt to GDP is about 124%.
The International Monetary Fund says they are helping the government focus on reducing macroeconomic vulnerabilities, among them the issue of debt.
As a partner with the government, we are helping the government as it implements this multi-pronged strategy for reducing its debt. We're working on two dimensions. As you know, the debt was largely inherited from the previous administration, so there's an elevated debt stock. And we need to, so the Gambian government is reaching out to creditors to see if it can get some additional debt forgiveness, debt relief if possible, and restructure some of its debt so that it can create some breathing space for the new government.
Civil society and other stakeholders at today's meeting are calling on the government to deliver a strong economy.
The event specifically was for IMF to give some indication with regards to economic indications for sub-Saharan Africa, of which the Gambia is part. IMF makes recommendations to government as to how to restructure, how to reform certain policies in regards to changing the status quo of the economy of the country.
While the government says steps are being pursued to manage the country's debt, experts say it's expected to increase because of the desperate development aspirations of the country. Lamin Jai, PTV News.
We continue with our series on how people are coping with the Ramadan in the country. And this evening, our focus is on Power of Freedom. Power of Freedom is a movement of young people who pull resources together to solve pertinent societal issues in the country. As part of their work, the group on Wednesday spent time at the Serekunda Hospital, where they shared food with the patients to help them break their fast. The group shared dates, tea, bread, and other items to the patients at the hospital. Sohna Gay is the coordinator for Power of Freedom, and she spoke to Paradise TV News on the sidelines of the meal.
First of all, I want to say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, because this is the second edition of the Freedom Dago, organized by the Power of Freedom. Last year we did it, Alhamdulillah, it was successful, and this year too we are on it, and we hope to see it towards the end of the Ramadan. The reason why we call it Freedom Dago is that we understand that during Ramadan, a lot of people are caught on the way, and transport is a problem in the country. So before people get to their houses, it's always during iftar time. That is, it is time for them to break their fast. So we thought of it and feel it's necessary to get to those people that are caught on the way during iftar time and they do not get to their houses yet. So we cannot give what they have at home, but at least we think we can put a smile on their faces by giving them something to eat and something to drink at the right time, because it is said in the Quran that when you fast and it is time for you to break your fast, like the sun has set, you need to eat something. So that was why we came up with the initiative that we can still help people who are stranded so that they can have something to eat at the right time. That's the main reason why we are doing the Freedom Dago. It's kind of like a call. A lot of people have money, they can do a lot of things far better than what we are doing, but it's just a call. Like if you have it in your heart, you give it out. So we don't have much. Us, the Power of Freedom, organizing the Freedom Dago doesn't mean we have a good amount in our account. We don't even have a good account. But what we do as members, especially the executive, we come together and contribute the little that we have and then buy things that we can give out. And in saying that, I want to say a big thank you to the Chakra Bakery, because last year they were with us and they're the ones that are supplying daily bread towards up to the end of the Ramadan. So they have been of good help since last year, and this year too they are with us. And also the Afrolicious show, they are partnering with us this year, and then they've sent us an amount that we use to buy some of our stuffs. So it's not that we have something, we have big things, because we're still asking for help. We still need donations from individuals, companies. Let them come and give whatever they give to us. We give it back to the people that needs it. Yeah.
Sports and international news is next. Don't go away.
Why do we say the only name that matters in real estate? Well, let's see. For over a decade, we have changed the approach to property ownership. Not only do we provide you with the most ideal and prime properties in the Gambia, Senegal, and now Ghana, but guide you in the process making sure that your property decisions matter, showing you where your investment will yield the best in any development project we offer. Property values continue to rise every day, and every day, Global Properties remains by your side to guide you with property solutions that fit and cater to your lifestyle. Global Properties remains the elite and most consistent, making it the only name that...
The difference between us and other media houses is that we have the best quality materials.
Well, working here is exciting.
I study video editing in Mediamatic.
Mediamatic has a great impact in my career. I'm very proud to be here.
This is Mediamatic.
Mediamatic. We are the media.
Welcome back, and now sports news. The Gambian female national team, Queen Scorpions, on Wednesday lost by a lone goal to their Nigerian counterpart in the African Women's Cup qualifier at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. The Queen Scorpions, who are participating for the first time in the qualifiers, managed to keep their more experienced counterparts at bay after conceding the goal in the first half of proceedings.
The Queen Scorpions of the Gambia lost to the Super Falcons of Nigeria by a goal to nil on Wednesday at the Independence Stadium in Bakau in the fourth leg of the Women's Nation Cup qualifiers. Koronko Amarachi put the visitors ahead with a stunning long-range strike in the 18th minute after a momentous pressure on the host. The female Scorpions started brightly, creating some half chances for the 8 times African champions later controlled proceedings, producing some beautiful individual and collective play. The Gambia, who are participating for the first time in the qualifiers, did just enough to maintain the scores 1-0 going into the break. And their second half performance was much better for their pacey, skillful and strong Nigerian players. Imo Anamere scores for the visitors in the second half, but her goal was ruled out for handball. The Queen Scorpions goalie Aminata Gay produced a dominant performance in her territory and helps her team in maintaining the scores at full time. The return leg is on the 11th of June 2018 in Nigeria. The Queen Scorpions of the Gambia lost to the Super Falcons of Nigeria by a goal to nil on Wednesday at the Independence Stadium in Bakau in the fourth leg of the Women's Nation Cup qualifiers. Koronko Amarachi put the visitors ahead with a stunning long-range strike in the 18th minute after a momentous pressure on the host. The female Scorpions started brightly, creating some half chances for the 8 times African champions later controlled proceedings, producing some beautiful individual and collective play. The Gambia, who are participating for the first time in the qualifiers, did just enough to maintain the scores 1-0 going into the break. And their second half performance was much better for their pacey, skillful and strong Nigerian players. Imo Anamere scores for the visitors in the second half, but her goal was ruled out for handball. The Queen Scorpions goalie...
Well, better luck to the Queen Scorpions next time. Now we shift our attention to news outside the country. New Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has been sworn in to lead in what has been termed as a new dimension in Spanish democratic history. Mr. Sanchez starts work with a cabinet dominated by women.
Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez says his new team shares the same vision of a progressive society that is both modernizing and pro-European. The cabinet is in marked contrast to the male-dominated executives of center-right ex-Prime Minister Mario Rajoy, who was ousted last week. Women have been given some of the biggest jobs in new Spanish cabinet, including the defense, economy, finance and education portfolios. The new Prime Minister, who says he is a feminist, says his government marks a watershed moment in Spanish society. In a televised statement on Wednesday evening, he spoke of Europe as a new homeland and says he sees his cabinet as a faithful reflection of a change in Spain that has emerged on 8 March through a feminist movement.
Well, with these stories, we come to the end of PTV News. But don't forget, Mandinka News is at 8 o'clock and Wolof News is at 9. Thank you and have a blessed evening.